pressures, to mitigate and to lessen the impact of these pressures that are occurring from all around the world. That is why Australia has found itself in a stronger position when it comes to issues of the pressures on inflation or pressures on rates. Australia is faring much better, and that's because of an economic plan that understands and preempts, in many respects, these impacts on the Australian economy. And that will continue in the years ahead. That's why I've said from the outset of this campaign that this election is a choice, and it's a choice about who is going to be better able to manage these significant pressures on the Australian economy in the years ahead. Pressures that will impact on you and your family, on your income, on your retirement income, on your jobs, on your communities, because these pressures will continue to be real. The election doesn't change what the pressures are. The election can change, though, who is managing those pressures on your behalf and the strength of the economic shield that is available to you because of the economic management credibility and policies of the government. And that's why, with these pressures on the Australian economy, now is not the time to risk Labor. And the risk of Labor is very real. They will tell you that simply a vote at the election will make these pressures fade away. Australians know that's not true. And they know that shows a lack of understanding about the very real economic challenges that the country continues to face. And today, as I've been sitting here and discussing with self-funded retirees and pensioners, an important shield that we need to provide for them, particularly over the next few years, is to ensure that they can have certainty as rates rise about their access to pension. And that's why today we are announcing that we will be freezing the deeming rates for the next 2 years at their current levels, so at 0.25% for financial investments up to $53,600, so those short-term investments that people have in their various deposits and other investments, and $89,000 for pensioner couples, and the upper rate, which impacts about 40% of payment recipients with deemed assets, that will remain at 2.25% on investments over that threshold. Now, this will benefit around 890,000 Australians, including 450,000 aged pensioners. Now, this goes in addition to the changes we've made to the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, which will see 50,000, largely self-funded retirees, those potentially on part pensions, be able to access these supports of the Commonwealth Seniors Health Card, which also means in turn they get access to the relaxing we've had on being able to get to the safety net on pharmaceuticals from 48 scripts down to 36 scripts. It means that they be able to access those concessional rates on pharmaceuticals, which for older Australians aren't a choice. They're a necessity for the quality of their life. And so we understand the pressures that are being faced, whether it's those who are self-funded retirees who have worked hard to be self-funded retirees, and pensioners and part pensioners, by ensuring that they can have certainty over these next few years about their access to the pension, or indeed Australians who are paying taxes and working and ensuring that they get tax relief, or those who are going to the Bowser and filling up their tank and ensuring that we've halved the petrol tax. All of this has been designed to shield Australians from the significant pressure that is coming on inflation and on interest rates all around the world. And so this is part of our plan, and our plan is ongoing to continue to protect and shield Australians from the uncertainties that are definitely out there and will continue. The other thing I'd say is, given that banks have always been very quick to pass on higher interest rates to mortgage holders, they should be just as quick to ensure those changes pass on to deposit holders, like those who we're here with today. And I think it's only fair. What we're announcing here on deeming rates is about giving self-funded retirees and pensioners a fair go. They've saved hard for their retirement. They've been doing it tough over the last 2-3 years as well. And they've been seeking to eke out their earnings from their superannuation on reduced rates for a long time. And we want to ensure that they have a fair go going forward. And that's what our economic shield is all about. And we don't want to risk that economic shield with a Labor Party that we know does not have the economic record of the coalition, that a Labor leader who even just 3 weeks ago didn't even know what the interest rate was, let alone how to deal with it, or a Labor Party who we know just doesn't know how to manage money. And as those self-funded retirees and pensioners I spoke to this morning, they're the ones who experience the 18% interest rates. They know what it's like when a Labor Party loses control of the finances. They know what it's like to run small businesses as they did, as they were saving for their retirement many years ago. When a Labor Party has a recession that they had to have, they were told by the Labor Party. They understand the risk of what happens when you get a Labor Party that doesn't know how to manage money, because they paid the price, and they paid a heavy price, and I want to make sure they get a fair go.